the first questions that came to my mind. Obviously, a lot of the focus that I've seen so far has been in terms of dating and whatnot. But have you noticed, is there a particular sense or thing that you suggest for, like, job interviews for people that may be going that I think that body language applies there too, right?
Sure, body language is really important when you talk about job interviews. As a matter of fact, the most important thing to realize is the job interview actually starts the minute you get off the elevator and the receptionist sees you. So yes, body language is key to any kind of job interview.
Okay, great. And then, with caress, they're focusing a lot on scent and fragrance.
Right.
And you don't want to overdo it for a job interview, but I think a little bit is always good too, right?
Right. That's a great question. One of the most important things that you want when you go out on a job interview is have a scent that's more natural, and that's actually what makes the Caress Forever collection so important, because it's combining all these natural scents like vanilla, and we're talking floral fragrances. So all those connections, all these notes together release this wonderful fragrance that everybody appeals to. So when you're talking about going on a job interview and you're releasing these scents just by simply touching your arm, the person you're talking to is automatically going to feel better about you because you're not overwhelming them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, to the subject of dating or, love life or whatever,
right.
Do you feel that there are certain scents that are more powerful than others?
Well, there are certain scents that we know are natural. So, for instance, vanilla is one of the core ingredients, and we know that vanilla is a natural scent that everyone is attracted to. So if you're wearing vanilla, if you're wearing one of the Caress fragrances, and you touch your skin, we know that the vanilla will be released for up to 12 hours. So if you shower nice and early in the morning and have that job interview in the afternoon, you don't have to worry about missing out, because once you get there, you shake hands, all you do is touch yourself lightly, and that fragrance comes out. It's lovely.
Nice. Wow, 12 hours. That's pretty impressive.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it. I use it all the time, actually, and I layer it with another scent of musk, because that's one of the other underlying notes within the fragrance, and it just makes it all the more powerful.
That makes sense. What about fruity types fragrances? What do you consider those?
Fruity types are really important. I'll tell you why. Not so much necessarily for a job interview, but the fruity scents are really important for dating. And the reason I say that is because men are always attracted to things like fruit. If you think about it, it's like edible. So the minute they see you, they start thinking, wow, this is really good. They feel good about you because they recognize that that underlying note is one of tastiness.
Cool. Okay, and then it talks about, in some of the survey results, it talks about certain things that you can do with your body or body language.
Right.
What is one of your most important tips for somebody that's like going on a first date in terms of body language?
The first date, the most important things to do would hold eye contact, touch him occasionally, and that's just gently, maybe stroking his hand, and then touch yourself. And the reason you want to do these things is because it forms commitment and relationship bonds. So if I touch him, he realizes that there's an intimacy there. There's an electric connection, right? And then if I touch myself, not only do I release the chemicals, I release the fragrance from the caress, but in addition to that, I'm showing him that I like to be touched. So those two things together are really powerful.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, great. And you mentioned that you mix with a lotion, so you use both the body wash and then a lotion on top to make the extra scent, right?
You know what? That's just because I have always worn the same scent. You don't need to. Caress alone is nice. That smell will linger for the full 12 hours. I tend to like to layer because I've worn the same fragrance for the last 25 years. So I learned to wear the Caress and then just put a nice layer of musk over it. I find that people don't necessarily want to do that. Some people just want to wear one fragrance, and that's why Caress is so nice. You don't need to because it lasts for so long.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
You have to realize it's, I'm sorry?
No, I was saying great. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, if you have any more questions or you're looking for more tips, you can visit houseofcaress.com, and there's a whole list of tips there. But the two things you want to remember is that touch is really important because it forms a bond, and scent is really important because it forms a memory.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.